The healthcare leader of the Tri-Parish community, Terrebonne General Medical Center is a nationally recognized facility providing state-of-the-art technology and advanced services. Terrebonne General compassionately provides the most services responding to the greatest needs for our community.
And welcome now to the To Your Health segment with Terrebonne General Medical Center. Life-threatening incidents happen every day. While there is no way to predict the future, there is a way to be prepared. Composing your advanced directives can help both your family and your doctors make difficult decisions in life or death situations. And joining us now to discuss that topic of advanced directives is Penny Brooks, a licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne General Medical Center. And Penny, welcome to the program. We mentioned advanced directives. Why don't we let everybody know what is an advanced directive?
An advanced directive is a legal document where a person can state his or her wishes regarding medical treatment in the event that person becomes unable to make decisions for themselves in the future.
Okay, and are there different types of advanced directives?
Yes, there are several types, but today I'm going to talk about the most common. The most common are a living will or a durable power of attorney. And a living will shouldn't be confused with a living trust. A living trust has to do with a person's assets and the distribution of assets once they have died. But a living will has to do with the person being able to express their wishes regarding medical treatment in the event he or she's unable to do so in the future. And a living will, you can actually write your wishes down. But a durable power of attorney is where you would appoint someone to make those decisions for you in the event you're unable to do so in the future.
Okay, and when do these advanced directives take effect?
Well, it's not until you become incapacitated, until you're no longer to make those decisions for yourself. So if you ever come into the emergency room and you're able to make your decisions, you would do that. But they will not become into effect until you're not able to make those decisions for yourself.
Okay, and you mentioned the term living will. What can be covered in a living will?
Well, initially, a living will was intended for people who wanted a natural death. They did not want to be on life support, and they didn't want like extreme life-saving measures. But now, any wish that a person would like, any medical treatment that they would want implemented or not implemented can be put on a living will. Such as you can talk about organ donation on a living will, you can talk about resuscitation, dialysis, if you want any artificial means of nutrition and hydration. So again, any wish you would like to have in the future or any medical decisions that you want to make now for the future, you could put on that advanced directive.
Okay, and how would you know that those wishes you're speaking about are actually enacted and carried out?
Well, an advanced directive is a legal binding document. So if done correctly, a physician or a healthcare provider must carry out its instructions. It's important to know that every hospital has an ethics committee. So if a family doesn't feel that their loved one's wishes are being carried out, you can go ahead and do an ethics consult. And also the ethics committee is there for hospital staff as well.
Okay, and how would one write an advance directive?
Well, first of all, you should know what your law states. So Louisiana law states that one must be a competent adult. And we're going to go ahead and put some information on the screen about the witnesses. You must have 2 witnesses to be present at the signing of an advance directive. The witnesses cannot be related by blood or marriage to that person executing the document. The witnesses must be competent adults who cannot be entitled to any portion of the estate of the person upon his or her death. The witnesses cannot be any healthcare professional who's providing that care to that individual, and it's recommended that you get a friend or neighbor who is close to you and who knows that you are competent before signing that document. And it's also helpful to know that consulting with a physician can be very important, so you can go over medical options, medical treatment options. It's important to know you can also speak to a social worker who can help you and your family when going and making difficult decisions. And it's also helpful to talk to an attorney. It's not mandated to execute a document, but it's very helpful. And it's important to know that your advance directive does not have to be notarized.
Okay, very good. What we'll do is we'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll continue with our discussion regarding advance directives.
I'm a director here at the Little Theater in Houma. Sometimes I've acted, and I've even played in the orchestra. My name is Karen Schilling, and I was treated for breast cancer at Mary Bird Perkins at TGMC. Quality medical care and compassion should go hand in hand, and I definitely got that at Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. My doctors were incredible, and the technology is state-of-the-art. I believe that everyone at Mary Bird Perkins at TGMC deserves a standing ovation.
With the most comprehensive health care available, more people choose TGMC for life. Terrebonne General Medical Center. It all begins here.
My husband and I have known each other since high school, and Bobby and I are very close. When I started losing my hair during my cancer treatment, he volunteered to shave his head too. My name is Sherry Starkey, and in 2007, I was treated for breast cancer at Mary Bird Perkins. 2 different doctors recommended Mary Bird Perkins, and everybody there was fantastic. And I know being close to home and family really helped a lot too. I'm still here, and Mary Bird Perkins had a lot to do with that.
Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center at TGMC.
And welcome back to the 2-year health segment with Terrebonne General Medical Center. Again, joining us is Ms. Penny Brooks, a licensed clinical social worker for Terrebonne General Medical Center. Again, we're talking about advanced directives. Penny, if you could tell us now, where does a person obtain those legal forms?
You can actually write or type your own document, but it's really recommended that you search the internet and download your own forms, or you speak to your healthcare provider. We have forms in the Social Services Department at Terrebonne General, and you can contact us for those forms. You can obtain them from your attorney, or you can even contact the Secretary of State, and we have the number on the screen, 225-922-0257, or you can go to the website, www.sos.louisiana.gov, and then you can click on Publications, and then the Living Will Declaration icon would pop up, and you can download the forms on that website.
Okay. And what does a person do with their advance directive after they've completed the document?
This is a very common question. A lot of people don't know what to do with their documents. What we're going to do, we can actually write that on the form, on the screen. We're going to put that. It's important to put your originals with your important papers. And I recommend that you do not put this in a safety deposit box at the bank, because you want to have these readily available to you in case there's an emergency. Give a copy to all of your physicians. Make sure they understand its contents. Give a copy to your loved ones, your children, your significant other, anyone who is there to help with your care. Bring a copy each time you come into the hospital to ensure we have a current copy of that document. And you actually can go to that website I spoke about earlier with the Secretary of State, and you can actually register your document with the Secretary of State. And again, their phone number is 225-922-0257.
All right. And can an advance directive be revoked?
Absolutely. Louisiana law allows a person to revoke an advance directive at any time, verbally or in writing. So, and you can do that by just informing someone, or you can tear up your document, write revoked across it, burn it, whatever you want to do with it. But what's important is that you relay this to your loved ones and also to your physician.
Okay. If someone calls 911, if 911's contacted, would the person responding, representing EMS, honor the advance directives?
Absolutely. They will honor the advance directive, but it's real important that you know that a living will and a durable power of attorney state that they will become effective if you are incompetent, can't make your decisions, and if you have a terminal and irreversible condition. So it's important that the EMS personnel, that they know when they get there that you have a terminal and irreversible condition. So you have to clearly state that in your document. If not, they will take all measures to save your life because they would not have that information. So what I would recommend is that you contact the Secretary of State, and what they can do is they walk you through the process on ordering a DNR bracelet, which is a do not resuscitate bracelet That way, when EMS arrives, they know you are a DNR. So
Okay.
again, be clear in your document and make sure your family understands your wishes. That way, when EMS arrives, they are clear on what to do.
Okay, and how does a person know if an advance directive is right for them?
Well, this could be a very sensitive topic to discuss. It's important to know that it is your choice as a consumer to execute a document. Just like organ donation, it is your choice. It's important for you to know your wishes, write down the pros and cons, and talk to your loved ones. But I can honestly say that you have to think about your family, because if you come into the hospital and you're unconscious in a comatose state with no reasonable chances of recovering, it's real hard and difficult for families to make decisions at that point in time. So please consider at least speaking to your family about your wishes so they'll know what to do.
Okay, if something should happen, let's say to me, and I don't happen to have an advance directive, what happens?
Okay, where if you're competent when you get to the emergency room, naturally you will make all your decisions yourself. But if you come where you're incompetent, can't make your decisions, then the hospital staff will consult your next of kin. So if you're able to make your own decisions, we'll ask you what treatment you want. There is a form called a DNR, which is a Do Not Resuscitate form. It's a form that limits life-sustaining treatment. You actually can complete with your physician on that admit. It's only good for that admit about, do you want resuscitation? Do you want chest compressions? Do you want mechanical ventilation? Do you want to be kept alive in machines? Do you want dialysis? Several things you can go through with your healthcare provider. But again, that's if you're able to make those decisions. If you're not, then we would go to your family, and I would like to put on the screen the Louisiana law. It shows the order of who we would speak to. If you have a court-appointed guardian, then that person will make the decision for you. If not, your spouse would make the decision. And if that person doesn't have a spouse, the patient's adult children as a class, or the patient's parents as a class, the patient's siblings as a class, or the patient's relatives ascending or descending as a class. But it's important to know that if you're not married, and if you don't have family there, or even if you have family there, but if you want your significant other there that you may not be married to, it's important to go ahead and do a durable power of attorney and appoint that person to make those decisions for you.
Okay, very helpful information, Penny. Before we end our show and segment tonight, do you have any additional information that can help individuals when making decisions regarding advance directives?
Again, it could be a very sensitive topic. Please talk to your loved ones about this topic. And I've been working at Terrebonne General almost 20 years, and I've seen families over and over again fight about what treatment options to do for their loved ones because they were so confused. And the ones who do have an advance directive, many times it's easier for them to take control and make sure their loved ones' wishes are carried out. There's also a form called the 5 Wishes form that can help you make decisions and when executing a document. And on the screen, there's the number. You can get it from 1-888-594-7437 to obtain a copy of this booklet. And again, you can contact the Social Services Department or at 873-4080 and ask for Penny if you have any questions.
Okay, and that's the 5 Wishes form right there that you're holding up.
Yes, and it addresses 5 wishes related to medical care, what kind of treatment you would like, how comfortable you want to be, how I want people to treat me, and what do I want my loved ones to know.
Okay. Penny, thank you very much for joining us. Very important information and helpful information for our viewers out there.
And thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, that'll conclude our 2-Year Health segment with Terrebonne General Medical Center. And again, we thank licensed clinical social worker Penny Brooks for joining us. And what we'll do is we'll take another break. When we come back, Chef George Caslow is in the kitchen as we go to our In the Kitchen with Canadas. And he and Joni Petrie are cooking up some Mardi Gras food coming up for the parades starting again on Friday. That's all next on Bayou Time.